Now, there is something you said earlier I wanted to revisit a little bit because you talked about how essentially having a child, becoming a mother, is really more what got you into writing. Would you say that that's accurate?
Not quite. I got into writing because of boredom. Sheer mind-boggling boredom. Writing was not on my horizon at all. I didn't think that it was.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Had writing been an interest earlier than that?
Never. In fact, all my siblings were, there were many of them, they were all into reading and writing at an early age, and I just wasn't interested. I just wasn't. I wanted to be outside. I wanted to be with friends, and I didn't want to be reading. I didn't want to be writing. It really was only in my early 20s that I started going, hey, books are cool. That's awesome.
Books are cool,
Books
kids.
are cool. I actually realized that there was something there for me and started reading just gangbusters, and then got into writing, but didn't have it as, didn't have it on my radar at all. It just happened after the prayer. It did.
That is so unique as an author's journey because, I mean, myself included, almost every author I ever talked to, we were always the bookworms, from birth, We
That's
were
amazing.
always reading, always writing, and then, had this moment where we finally finished our first book.
Yeah.
And I have to ask this, mostly because people ask me this question all the time.
Okay.
How did you feel when you first saw your book in print?
How did I feel? Ooh. I just bawled like a baby.
You'll need to clarify. Was this?
It's massive overwhelm that I actually did it. Like from beginning to end, I did it. So it's overwhelm. It's joy. It's absolute panic. I cry over a lot of things. It's panic because of worrying about character development and typos and historical accuracy for sure, reading all these books. And I did actually have a mentor as well. He's a professor at the University of Botswana, and he would help me and he'd read parts for me. But still, I was like, what if he was wrong? What if someone who really knows what they're talking about reads the book and then they call me out for what I've been doing wrong? And
They'll discover I'm a fraud.
they'll know. Yeah, totally. Imposter syndrome was happening everywhere. And no, I felt lots of things.
Tell me about this mentor.
Yes. My mentor is Barolong Saboni. He is the professor of literature at the University of Botswana. And he does, he writes poetry. He helps me with research. He helped me with pronunciation, which is important because Chief Sechela, they spoke Setswana, and it is still, here it's been altered. Of course it has been. Language alters. And so he could help me know how maybe Chief Sechela actually said it instead of how they say it now. So it's tricky.
Nice.
It was tricky.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's actually of great comfort to me because I've read it, but I didn't know it was pronounced Sechela. I saw it. It looks so close to those islands off of Africa, the Seychelles.
They're named after him.
They're named after him and they pronounce it wrong? Oh.
Let's cry. Let's cry. Let's cry about it. Yep, they're
So I
pronounced
actually had the
Seychelles.
right.
You did. Yep. Named after him. But Barolong is, knows his history, knows what he's doing. And he has written his own books on Chief Sechela and knows how to pronounce his name. And it's say, like saying words, right? Say. Che, like change.
Che.
And then le, like let. So the end has to be like lazy.
Sechela.
Yeah. Sechela.
Sechela.
There you go.
Okay.
We're done.
All right. Not Seychelles.
We called him Setchel for so long. Me and my kids and my husband called him Setchel. No, that's wildly off.
That's still closer than Seychelles.
No, there's a lot of
But
ways
that's fascinating that those islands are actually named
They
after
are.
him.
And I want to go.
Well,
They're
yeah.
gorgeous, but no.
Did you
pronunciation.
travel at all for research for this?
I did. I actually did not go to Africa. I was ready to go, and I couldn't make it work. Anyway, but I did go to Scotland. I did go to Scotland and saw where David was born, and there's a museum there, the David Livingstone Birthplace Museum, and I got to go, even though they were in renovation, I got to go back and see all their things that they were, keeping safe. So I saw lots of
I
stuff.
have to ask, we can't just buzz by that. How did you get that? Like, excuse me, I am an important American author here doing research on Dr. Livingstone. Let me into your closed museum and show me the good stuff.
Anyone,
How did you pull that
if
off?
anyone hears me talking like that ever, you can shut me down immediately. Just burn the books. No, I just emailed. I emailed the curator and just said, "Could I?" And she said, "Yeah." The shortest story. She was amazing. She is amazing.
It's something that actually has a very strong moral. I am surprised at how much I myself have gotten away with in my life just by asking,
Ask.
right?
Yes.
Like, I know this is the rule, but can I do it anyways?
Could we not?
Could we not? Is that just as good? And yeah,
Sometimes.
I wouldn't say a lot of the time, but probably a good, 30% of the time? Like, yeah, it's fine.
That's
It's
how I
fine.
got Barlong as my mentor. Was I just emailed him and said, "Hey, I would love a mentor to help me write this book. Will you?" And he said, "Yeah, I will."
Okay, let's back up even more. How did you find a professor of literature in the University of Botswana? Like, how did you even make this connection?
I didn't bring it. There was, related to one of these books, there was a note in them that they had gotten their research from a grad student's paper at the University of Minnesota. Minnesota? I hope it's Minnesota. Minnesota. And so I emailed him and said, "Hey, I saw you did your grad work in African studies and you focused on Chief Sechela. Who did you look to for research? Can I have your paper?" And he mailed me his paper. And then I got
Nice.
all of his resources. Yes. And one of them was Baralong Saboni. He wrote a play about Chief Sechela. And so I got, I didn't have access to the play. And so I got his email address from the university and said, "I'm not a student, but I would love to read your play." And he said, "Sure." And he just sent it to me.